So, the OHL season is just around the corner when we have plenty of news items that keep popping up, in particular trades. Yesterday, I did a video about three significant trades that were made around the Ontario Hockey League. And after I posted that video, there were two more moves that were made. And we'll look at that first, starting off the Peterborough Petes, adding a big defenseman on their blue line, 6'4", 200-pound Matthew Jenken. He comes over from the Flint Firebirds. Jenken, he's a former 17th overall pick in the 2022 under 18 priority selection, and he recorded 18 points last season, 2 goals, 16 assists. So he's not known for his offensive capabilities, but he's just a big presence on the blue line, which will help the Peterborough Petes. They're a younger team looking to take a step forward after last year, where they kind of bottomed out after trading away their veteran players following that championship run. So this is all going to plan in Peterborough, and Jenken, I think this is a good pickup for them. For the Flint Firebirds, though, they did do a couple of moves yesterday. They sent Tristan Bertucci off to the Barrie Colts, but brought in Artem Frolov and Urban Podrakar. So because of the two additions from Niagara, that kind of made Matthew Jenken available, and that's why he ends up going over to the Peterborough Petes. So I do like this pickup for Peterborough, and this just also means that Jenken's going to get some ice time, because the Flint Firebirds, they've made plenty of moves this offseason. When I get to the West Division preview, I'll go over those moves that they've done so far. But still, the Flint Firebirds, one of the busiest teams in the Ontario Hockey League this offseason when it comes to moves. There was also another trade, this time involving the Owen Sound Attack and the Erie Otters. Bruce McDonald, he is going north to join the Owen Sound Attack. For McDonald, he's a veteran forward. He plays with some grit and sandpaper, which you kind of wonder if that's the direction the Owen Sound Attack are going. Dale DeGray did say during the summer that he wanted the Bayshore to be a place that the visiting team doesn't want to be in, and he wants it to be a blue-collar team, and you kind of get that with Bruce McDonald. He is that, rough and tough kind of player up front for the Erie Otters, and you bring that now to the Owen Sound Attack. Owen Sound, of course, in the same division as Erie, so they're quite familiar with one another. So McDonald, he recorded 35 points last season, 18 goals, 17 assists. So I think this is a good pickup for the Owen Sound Attack. They traded Cedric Guendon to the Kingston Frontenacs last week, and that was an overage move there. So McDonald kind of steps in to take that void. However, there's still a lot of OA candidates that the Owen Sound Attacker is still trying to figure out, while the Erie Otters, they're addressing their overager situation as well, because they sent Sova to the Brampton Steelheads yesterday in that move. So they're now down to 3 remaining overage candidates, and that's where you want to be at this time going into training camp. So some good moves there. I do like the addition there, McDonald going to the Owen Sound Attack. And for the Erie Otters, a team that's looking to contend and getting some assets in return for their overagers, as you get draft picks back instead of losing them for nothing as a free agent, or just moving on from the OHL. So well done there for the Erie Otters. Now, last week was the OHL's annual Board of Governors meeting down in Niagara-On-The-Lake, and a couple of things have come out of it. We did learn that there was an increase in attendance overall last season, which is great news for the Ontario Hockey League, for the health financially for this league. But they're also going to hire a new director of player safety. Every year, we hear the controversies about suspensions, and everyone's trying to figure out, okay, how many suspensions is this guy going to get for this sort of hit or this sort of play? So what the OHL is going to do, they're going to have someone brought in for the 2024-25 season who will prioritize the well-being of players and overseeing the league's disciplinary process. So it's I think that this is a great step from the Ontario Hockey League, having someone in place who's going to be overlooking the disciplinary actions. And maybe we'll start to, I would like to see the Ontario Hockey League be a little more open and upfront about the whole process of how they come to a certain amount of games for infractions, or even just to have someone explain what each suspension is. They used to do it, I remember a few years ago, even in the National Hockey League. If you remember when Brandon Shanahan was in charge of player safety, he would release a video and basically tell you through the video what led to their decision to suspend a player for a certain amount of games, or why they didn't suspend a player. Maybe they just issued a fine. So it'd be kind of nice if they looked at that from the Ontario Hockey League as well. And we do have a new commissioner, Brian Crawford, taking over. So maybe this is the direction that they're going to go. They'll be more open and upfront with junior hockey fans when it comes to disciplinary action. So something interesting there coming out of the Board of Governors meeting. Also, they announced that they're going to review and expand current policies around minimum player standards. So it's nice to have these sort of policies. We did have that issue last year when it came to social media with the whole issue between the Sudbury Wolves and the Barrie Colts. That kind of got a little out of hand, it felt at times when it came to that whole situation. And I think that's kind of expanded or kind of connected between the director of player safety and also updating the policies when it comes to player standards. So those were the things that came out of the annual Board of Governors meeting for the Ontario Hockey League. I think these are good steps for the league moving forward. And it also shows, too, like I said, an increase in attendance means that the business is growing for the OHL. And that's why I did that video talking about possible expansion, because the league appears to be in a healthy spot right now. But time will tell. And this is just the first step towards getting closer to the start of the 2024-25 OHL regular season. Now, the last news item I wanted to touch on involves the Brantford Bulldogs. They have a new assistant coach. Usually I don't talk about assistant coaches all that often, but this is an interesting one. They're bringing in Ryan Kuwabara. If that name sounds familiar, that's because he was the head coach of the Niagara Ice Dogs. He was let go a year ago, and then Boudreau took over behind the bench from Kuwabara. I think this is a great step for the Brantford Bulldogs. This is a team that's looking to contend this season. And Kuwabara, he's got a pretty good resume. He's an OHL alumni. He played with the Ottawa 67s back in his day. He was also the OHL Scholastic Player of the Year in 1990 when he was playing for the Ottawa 67s. And he's been around on the international stages too, as well, representing Team Japan. And he's also been getting some coaching experience over these last few years, and the most recent with the Niagara Ice Dogs. So I think this is a good pickup for the Brantford Bulldogs, bringing in Ryan Kuwabara. And this could be a stepping stone for him to getting another head coaching job maybe in the next few years or so. So those are the news items for today. I will continue the OHL preview videos. Coming up next will be the Central Division, so stay tuned for that. So again, thank you very much for all of your support. Comment down below your thoughts on any of these news items. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. This channel has been growing quite steadily these last couple of weeks. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer and haven't subscribed yet, that's okay too. Welcome aboard as we get ready for a brand new regular season. And we'll talk to you soon.